What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Bree. My best friend, she watches my channel sometimes, and she told me that I needed to switch up the location in my videos. Like, she told me I need to switch it up a little bit, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go outside. I'll go outside and try. Anyway, so this video, I wanted to talk to y'all about all the jobs that I've had since I've been an LPN, and excuse my voice and like the stuffiness and all that. I am like getting over a cold at the moment, or the flu or whatever. So yeah, so I guess it would be fun to do this in a conversational way anyway. So the first job that I had when I graduated nursing school, I worked at a hospital on a post-op ortho unit. Basically, post-op ortho is you basically just taking care of patients who just had like joint replacement surgeries, knees, hips, amputations, those type of surgeries, and you are trying to get them to, one, not have a catheter. You want them to be able to get up and walk, pee on their own. I want to say have a bowel movement, and just make sure that they'll be okay once they get home, or to wherever they live. That was my first job, right out of nursing school. I was doing that even before I was licensed. They hired me as a new grad nurse at that hospital. The pay was atrocious. The pay was terrible. Like, the pay was so embarrassing that, like, I'm not even gonna tell y'all, because like it was like CNAs making more than what I was making there. But it was really good experience though. It was a really good experience. So I did that for about 6 months, and then I dropped to PRN and did it on the side because the commute was a little too long, and I was just like over the 12-hour day. I was over the 12-hour shifts, and my son had to be in school, and I wanted to be there, So I applied for a 7 to 3 job, like a 7 to 3 shift, and that was at an assisted living facility. You can actually go back to my last video and you can see how that job was, and that's where I was working. So I don't even work there anymore, but that's exactly what I was doing at that job from 7 to 3. That pay was a little bit better. It was in the 20s. It was like in the low 20s. That was like, I was okay with that, especially, with minimal experience. So I worked there. I did that for a year. Dropped to PRN because I was doing some prereqs to go back to nursing school. From there, I went to a Methadone Clinic. Now, I had absolutely no idea what a Methadone Clinic was. I had heard of methadone. Like, I was just going in blindly. I really liked the hours. It was Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I was just like, oh, that is perfect. And it was, actually, because I really like that schedule. And I like that job. So I left the assisted living facility to go to the Methadone Clinic. That is a whole nother like specialty in itself, but I learned a whole lot. I really like that job. I was doing like intakes. I was doing drawing labs, giving out medicine, working with the physicians and things like that. So that was pretty exciting, and I learned a lot about addiction, a lot that I didn't know before, because I didn't really know a lot about drug use and drug habits and stuff like that. I kind of thought like all drugs was kind of like the same thing, like I don't know, but I learned about like the different drugs and just like addiction in itself. And I have a lot more compassion for people that struggle with that. So that was good that I did work there, but it was just it had its challenges too, and I feel like I wasn't going to be able to grow working there. Then I left there to go back to the hospital, work in the Medsurg Unit, staff nurse, And honestly, the experience that I got from the first hospital pretty much carried me through to this hospital. And so it made working there a breeze. Really, like, my favorite thing about the hospital was the people that I got to work with. It was nothing but a lot of travel nurses with a sprinkle of staff nurses. And I really liked everybody. I really liked everybody. But yeah, I was just working in the Medsurg Unit there. The only thing I didn't like about working at this hospital is that you didn't have like a lot of skills that you use. Like, they had an IV team, they had like a rapid response team, they just had like so many teams, so it's like you didn't really get to do anything. So they had like the phlebotomist, they had respiratory, like, which they should have, but I'm just saying, like, at the first hospital, they didn't have as many teams, so a lot of that stuff you were doing on your own. Like, you were doing your own IVs. They didn't have, like, a rapid response team. I think you just, like, you better figure it out or you about to call a code. So, yeah, so those are the 4 jobs that I worked as a staff nurse within the 2 years that I have been a nurse. Which I forgot to mention the pay for the last 2 jobs. At the Methadone Clinic, the pay was I think like $25 an hour. And then at the hospital, I think maybe it went up to like $27 an hour or something like that. Those were the 4 jobs that I have worked in the 2 years I have been an LPN. So now what I'm doing is I am working as an agency nurse. I am no longer a staff nurse. I am working agency, taking assignments. Right now I'm currently on a local travel assignment at a correctional facility, but that assignment is coming up pretty soon and I'll be working somewhere else, probably back in long-term care. I'm pretty sure there's so many different places that you can work, so many different specialties. You can work in the hospital, because I hear that's like a big mystery or myth, but it honestly depends on the state, from what I understand. So, but I have worked in the hospital. I've worked in the hospital twice. I can give you tips and interview tips if you want that to, work in the hospital. Just let me know if that's something that you're interested in. So yeah, that is all I have for this video. Hopefully my change of scenery is better. It's not as boring. Hopefully my best friend can appreciate the switch up. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.